Do you want to travel from France to Australia direct?
Bonjour!
Well, now you can, as from the 12th of July, Qantas kicks off its direct route from Perth to Paris using the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner.
G'day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
QF33 will depart from Sydney at 13:55 on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, have a 155-minute layover in Perth, and then on to a 17-hour, 20-minute direct flight into Charles de Gaulle. Sale tickets are currently being advertised at about $1,000 economy, which is broadly the same as the 21-hour, one-stop Qantas Emirates route via Dubai. The non-stop service is the latest in Qantas's move into direct flights from Perth into Europe. You can already fly Perth-London, which is 17 hours 20 minutes all year round, and there's a seasonal service into Rome at 16 hours.
Are you not entertained?
Plus, Qantas has also introduced its Circle fare, so you can fly into one city and out of another.
So what are you waiting for? Come and take it out.
Now, the new route is relatively thin, but it does highlight some interesting questions for Qantas, for Emirates, and the respective airports in Perth and Dubai. If we look at Qantas first, the new route allows Qantas to provide a distinct service offering that isn't available anywhere else in the market in an attempt to grab some market share. But this isn't without an element of risk, because the economics on these ultra long haul flights are still quite sketchy. From a revenue perspective, the Dreamliner is a premium aircraft. Has 166 economy seats, 28 premium economy and 42 business class. So the gamble that Qantas is taking is that for the affluent traveller or for the business class segment, combined with the 3-hour time saving, those seats really begin to look value for money, allowing Qantas to maximise the total revenue from that aircraft. However, there are several risks to this approach. 1. Passengers have perfect information.
I see everything, Carl. I'm 50 moves ahead of you and everybody else.
At the point of booking, passengers can see in real time the cost versus benefit of that connection in Dubai. And you have to ask, for the average traveller who is effectively already writing off a complete day, is 3 hours really worth a premium? Particularly if a connecting flight is cheaper or it provides you a greater amount of flexibility. 2. The direct model also means that Qantas has to sacrifice load factors. Yes, passengers can be consolidated in Perth prior to travel, but there's no opportunity to exploit that thick leg between Dubai and Paris. So a quiet flight leaving Perth is going to be a quiet flight landing in Paris. And 3, some travellers will just not entertain the idea of 17 hours 20 minutes in a single aircraft.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The cost side of the equation is also quite complicated. The Dreamliner is one of the most fuel efficient aircraft in the world, and so this ultra long flight allows Qantas to maximise that competitive advantage. However, the aircraft will be heavy on departure, taking on about 100,000 litres of fuel. The new aircraft will also use 16 members of crew for 17 hours 3 or 4 times a week. So setting and optimising crew patterns could be really challenging. Now, the economics for Perth Airport is more straightforward. Perth can now leverage its unique geographical position and become Australia's gateway to Europe. And with full schedules to London, Paris and Rome, the airport can realistically expect 60 to 70,000 passengers per year, with potential for growth in the future. Now, most of these passengers are likely to be transit passengers spending minimum time on the ground. But even if they just grab a bite to eat, reload and coffee, sandwiches, magazines, you can really see how the revenue will start to add up. However, Perth needs to move really quickly to capitalise upon this opportunity. Qantas has already announced Project Sunrise, which should see direct flights from Sydney to London and New York by 2026, using the new A350-1000. If Qantas can get the economics of those flights right, and passengers will accept 20 hours in the air, then these transit passengers through Perth could quickly fall away. So how will Emirates respond?
Habibi, come to Dubai.
Undoubtedly, the airline is going to remain committed to the Australian market. It currently transports about 56,000 passengers per week from Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne and Perth, all via a connection in Dubai. But what might happen is that investment goes into the east rather than to the west coast. From an airport perspective, however, DXB is probably likely to be indifferent. Last year, DXB handled 86.9 million passengers. So losing between 50 and 75,000 passengers per year probably won't move the needle. However, the growth of these ultra long range aircraft is absolutely on the radar of these hubs, including the other super connectors of Doha and Istanbul. These businesses are built on facilitating the flow of traffic. But if they can now be bypassed, this is a serious threat. 56,000 passengers a week not flowing through your airport is a whole different category of problem. That said, for the big three of DXB, Doha and Istanbul, with their extensive networks and fleets, they should be able to respond to this challenge. But the smaller connectors, or those trying to enter into the market, they're going to need a serious strategy that includes the airport, airlines, and tourism all working together to attract traffic.